Zeratul, you must secure the Zelnaga keystone from James Raynor. My forces will reactivate the Spear of Adun, a warship that will be invaluable in the battles ahead. May Tassadar's shadow hide you, my friend.
Alright, for a little background, in case you wouldn't know the lore behind this, and if you're not familiar with StarCraft 1, so Artanis is now the leader of the Protoss. And he was a Praetor in Brood Wars or something like that, where he's like a low, kind of like a mid-level rank leader, and by the end of the Brood Wars, most of the higher ranking leaders were dead. And so, I guess I don't know if he just took over or he was elected to become the overarching leader of the Protoss. And then Zeratul here, he's a Dark Templar. He's basically like, you can call them like, if they're Jedi, they're kind of like the dark side of the Jedi, except that they're not evil. They just do things differently from the quote-unquote light side of the Protoss. So they're more like, they kind of stick by a certain like way of doing things. And the Dark Templar, they basically are like, screw this, we're going to do it our way too. And so that's why they're like more greenish, which is Stalkers are also Dark Templar. They have like green eyes versus the blue eyes, because they're connected to a thing called the Kala, which is a crystal that the Protoss kind of discovered, and it links all their minds together as one. So basically, they have ESP. They're able to. That's how they're able to communicate with one another too. Well, actually, the Kala doesn't have anything to do with communicating with one another, but it does help them sense each other's presence and know who's like alive and who's dead, and basically like that. And it allows you to also know what others are thinking. So that's why these Protoss are completely different from the Dark Templar, because they're not connected to the thing called the Kala. Anyways, so the achievements for this one is to obviously just complete the game, or complete the mission, train a combined total of 20 Zealots and or Stalkers, and then also collect all mineral and gas miners, which I've already done before, so I don't have to really do them again. So let's launch this campaign. Let's do it! I'm so glad I have a solid state drive that loads these missions so much quicker.
The Void Seeker lies in ruins. What has transpired here?
Ship got messed up.
The Zerg in this area should have been eradicated. Stalkers, hurry to the Nexus point nearby and warn our brethren. I must investigate this further.
So here's where we're really gonna be able to practice a little bit of our microing with knowing how to blink our Stalkers back. We probably won't need to do it right in the beginning, because we didn't even get hit there. Might not even need to do it, because we're not even getting killed. Or we're not even getting injured. So one thing is good to always know is your hotkeys. So know the hotkeys really easy. It's something that's going to take some practice and take a little getting used to, because some people like to just click down here, but really knowing the B, M, S, H, P, all that stuff is really going to make your life a lot easier. And one thing that's really good about StarCraft II is that they've kind of altered all the hotkeys so that they're more so on the left-hand side of your keyboard. So things that used to be on the right-hand side of the keyboard, aside from patrol, they're now moving to the left-hand side. So it's a little bit easier for users to get a hold of the hotkeys. So here's a good way where you blink him back, because Because if we left that one guy out there, he probably would be like halfway on his life right now on his green bar. You know, by the time we killed out. But instead, none of them went. Their shields never went past halfway, and now we still have 3 stalkers that can recover to a full health. So that's the best thing about stalkers, is that you can really micro well.
I can no longer sense them within the Kala.
Is that not impossible? Your kind cannot disappear from the Kala unless your nerve cords are severed.
Then the impossible has happened. I can no longer sense Artanis. There is only a void in the Kala where he should be.
The shadow moves against us, Executor. Artanis is in grave peril.
You must raise an army and find him. My Phase-Smith Karax will help you re-establish this nexus point. Zeratul, save Artanis.
Dark Prelate Zeratul, I am Karax of the Collide Cast.
Friend Karax, we must establish this nexus as quickly as possible.
Understood. These structures allow you to raise your army, but they are powerless. Order a probe to warp in a pylon near them.
Right, so these are probes. These are your worker units. You can see them here. Basically, they're robots, and they are your easiest way to build. So, and what they do, instead of like having the unit build, like lose a unit and build a building, what they can do is just they warp in buildings. So basically, they open up a portal, and the building will come back. So you can. So now your probe can go back to doing whatever heck it needs. So this is your main, like, kind of like town hall type of building, the Nexus. I would control 1 this sucker so that you can always hotkey back straight to your base.
The pylon is complete. It has provided enough supply to warp in ground forces at your gateways.
So now so your gateways are your easiest ways to.
You will require Vespine gas from the geyser near your mineral fields. Order a probe to warp in.
You're really killing my groove, bro.
And you will be able to gather Vespine.
All right, so yeah, gateways are your main way to build or build more units. Another resource you need is called Vespine gas. So you have to build an assimilator that's on top of it. So you just hit B and then A, and you'll put it on top of a assimilator. So you can only put it on top of these gas chambers, and it will start building. So so one thing you always want to do is have a good economy, which is have a lot of builders. So once the assimilator is done, move your probes to the assimilator, and they'll start gathering gas. So
you can warp in additional probes from our nexus to gather resources at an The nexus point has been re-established. Once your warriors are ready, you should proceed with your mission, Dark Prelate.
State thy bidding. I am the voice of the eclipse.
oops, move 2 of my guys for no reason.
I am the heart of darkness. We are one with. I am the voice of the eclipse.
All right. So anyway, so this orange line here means that when you build new workers, it will automatically go mine a mineral field. So these minerals are like one of 2 resources that you need: minerals, gas, and this tells you how much your supply is. So basically, you can only build as many units as you have supply. And what you always want, and pylons are what make supply and also power these buildings. So basically, a building has to be within one of these pylon fields in order to power, in order to you to actually be able to use it and also build the building. So you always want a few of these.
Rally your defenses.
So one thing I also like to do is to hotkey your units or your buildings as a group. So I have my Nexus as 1 and my gateways as 2. That way you can always hit 2 and then you can start building units right away. That way you don't always have to come back to the base. Like say you're fighting out here and you need more units. You don't have to come back to base, click on your gateways, and then tell them to build. You can just hit 2 and they'll go straight to it. So this is just some of the tricks of the trade. God damn it! I don't know why I somehow keep clicking on them. Anyways, I guess those fields are really a lot bigger than I thought. So anyways, you want to keep building as many units as you humanly can, because so this number means how many workers these pylons or like these mineral fields support. So it supports 21 what's that called? Probes. So you want to make at least 21 probes. Oops. We'll make at least 21 probes so to mine these mineral fields. Always keep a good gauge on your supply so that you can you remember to always so that you never get supply cap. And basically supply cap, when you get supply cap is when you have too many units and you can't build more. So you definitely never want that to happen, because then you're screwed, or like then you can't build more units than you already have. So you always want to build keep as much supply as you can, which is obviously the max is at 200. Also keep a good idea of what the hotkeys for zealots and stalkers are in this case, or for all the units. So Z and S. Probes are E, which is good because they used to be P, so that means you have to reach across the keyboard just to get more probes out, which was friggin' annoying. But now they're now E, so it's a little bit nicer. The reason I built a probe here is because I wanted my probe to build a pylon much quicker and then go back to mining the minerals as quickly as possible. So sometimes, just kind of be wary of where you're building some of these buildings so that you can get quicker outcomes from them. Oh, they're attacking! Come at me, bro! Remember to keep blinking. So what you see up here is a chrono boost. So this is a feature that's unique to Protoss, and also right now it's running continuously. So when you can chrono boost any building, and basically it will speed up the building time of any target building. So even when it comes to upgrade buildings like a cybernetics core, you can chrono boost those too. So you can only chrono boost one building at a time, depending on how many nexus you have. So you have more than one nexus, you could chrono boost 2 or more buildings. And in regular gameplay, this runs out your building has energy and it runs. Chrono boost runs out like every 20 seconds or so, I think. Here it's absolutely continuous. So you can chrono boost any building for as long as the game goes, and it's 22.5% faster. So that's kind of nice for you. So I'm gonna build a few more gateways because I want to make more units much quicker. So the more gateways you have, obviously, the more units you'll be making. So what I'm doing here is when you have a gateway selected and you right click, these are waypoints. Basically, once the unit is finished building, that's the point that they're going to go automatically towards, right? So these are good ways to get your units to a specific area. That way you don't have to always come back to your base, select your units, and then tell them to go somewhere. That way they'll go straight to an area. And if you set a waypoint to a unit, it will basically follow that unit. So every time a unit comes out, it'll go straight to that unit, which is also very handy. Okay, more pylons. I think we're okay here. So we're going to keep continuing to fight. Run through this area. So we have to reach the Templar base and find void pylons. So might as well find the bonus objectives as well. Sometimes I like to blink stalkers in quicker just to speed up things, because sometimes it takes forever. Oh! Don't want them to get owned by the Zerglings, so you want your zealots to be kind of the main damage absorbers.
Another void pylon.
We are at your service, Zeratul.
Excellent.
Very well.
So that's kind of the basics of monitoring your bases. Again, just keep an eye on your supply. It's always a good idea to put pylons kind of in the back here where your workers are, because every once in a while you might even want to put cannons back here to protect your workers. But luckily, the Protoss have a feature that will be that probably comes later, is a warp gate instead of just a normal gateway. But I'll show you what you can do with that in the next mission. Alright, so I think we're good to go here.
These cells have been corrupted. A hybrid must be behind this. Let us move with purpose. Very wise. I am the heart of darkness.
Make a few more zealots.
Acquire my skills.
Ooh, crikey. So also a good reason, I switched up my groups a little bit. A good reason to have your buildings on hotkeys is so that you can pop back to the base as quickly as possible in order to do other things, or if in case you're getting attacked or something. That way you can pop to and from certain areas on the mini-map without too much trouble. Or it's a lot quicker, I should say. Blink. Blink again.
Intriguing cold is the void. This appears to be the last void pylon in the area. From the shadows we come. We are one with the shadows. You require my skill. I am the heart of darkness.
I think I have more than enough people to beat this mission, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that now.
Executor Celestis, I have encountered your missing Templar, but they have been corrupted, as if possessed. Celestis sense your presence. The car is filled with rage. My mind is being consumed.
Artanis, you must hold on. We are coming for you. Your lies are meaningless, purposeless. I grant you salvation. Game on. The Dark God is here, on ire. He has wrested control of the Kala. The Templar have fallen. Without their course severed, only we who remain unaffected. It falls to us to halt this madness, brothers.
Right. Now we get to control 02 as well.
Young Artanis, I only pray that we are not too late.
The voices whisper of oblivion, of salvation.
I will fulfill my calling. We must not hesitate. We must
Crikey.
not hesitate.
I'm a little rusty. I'm sorry, guys.
Fury and rage. Zeratul, you are alone. Do not resist the unity he brings.
God us.
I lost all my dudes.
I can hear his whispers.
Fight, Artanis. Do not let anyone consume you.
Unending hatred.
He has corrupted the Kala. Your nerve cords chain you to his will. They must be removed.
Still can't believe they killed Zeratul. Alright, so that's mission 2. So we did only lost 5 units. Wow. 5 units, killed 125, trained 44, and found all the resources. Used blinked 168 times. I guess it's once per unit. So yeah, that was mission 2. Hopefully my tutorial was good enough that you guys can take something away from it and learn how to play this game and enjoy it more. So yeah, really thank you guys for continuing to watch this, and please stick it through for the next mission. Alrighty, so let's continue. Another cutscene.
Smith Karax, I have been looking for you.
Artanis,
Your nerve cords, they must be removed.
it was done by the Dark Templar. I am free of the Kala's corruption. Are there others?
I have saved all that I could. Come, we must escape this world before time runs out.
Escape? How?
The Spear of Adun still rests beneath the ruins of Kor Shakal. Its generators are ancient, but a phase smith of your ability will know how to bring them online.
The Spear of Adun. I am honored to have the opportunity. This is fortune we cannot ignore.
Indeed.